Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
It is our TOEIC unit today. We're going to continue talking about customer complaints. If you work in customer service, you're going to be receiving calls from dissatisfied customers. Think about it. If you work in customer service, the only reason people are going to call you is if they have a problem. If they're satisfied, they don't need to call you, right? They wouldn't say, well, I'm just calling to say I love the product. Don't you have anything to complain about? No. So, yes, you can expect to receive lots of complaints.
Yeah.
But, if you work for such a company, you need somebody to tell you exactly how to handle these things.
You do.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the SOP, or the Standard Operating Procedure for Customer Complaints.
I wanted to mention it's short for Standard Operating Procedure and Standard Operating Practice.
Okay.
So be aware of that. If you want to make this plural, guys, because there are lots of standard operating practices or procedures, then you'll add a very small S to the side of it. No apostrophe, please. SOPs. I actually worked for a company in New York, and I had to create our company's SOP binder, SOP notebook, because we didn't have any. We were a brand new company.
Ooh.
So it was kind of fun. So that's what an SOP is. We're going to talk about how to handle customer complaints according to this particular company's SOPs. Right now, we're going to read through our lesson.
The following update was made on May 1st, 2016, after several managers attended a seminar on customer relations. When confronted with a customer complaint, please follow the standard operating procedure below. 1. Ensure all customer complaints are recorded. Fill out complaint form CF1 during your call and use this to confirm all the details of the problem with the customer. Make sure that you have all the facts. Confirm the customer's reference number and contact information. In addition, record all actions taken. These will be kept on file for training purposes. 2. Apologize. Though the customer's issue is not your fault, apologize for their inconvenience and thank them for taking the time to report it. Do not try to blame someone for the problem. If possible, build a rapport with the customer. Be calm, patient, and helpful. 3. Discuss your solution or solutions with the customer. Whenever possible, the customer should be given multiple options for solving the problem. Agree on the best possible solution and confirm it with the customer. 4. Be prompt. Act on the problem at once and follow it up with an email detailing the complaint and the agreed solution. When the issue is solved, call the customer to make sure everything is satisfactory. 5. Record the outcome. If the complaint represents a larger issue within the company, inform your manager.
So we're going to talk about a new SOP for customer complaints at one particular company. If you have a complaint, it just means someone's telling you why they're unhappy, that they feel that some situation or service or even something they bought is not satisfactory or unsatisfactory, or it's just not acceptable. And usually that complaint includes the reasons for why they're dissatisfied.
Indeed, and the verb is to complain,
yeah.
And the noun is complaint. And if you want to start a conversation, you say, I'd like to make a complaint. Sometimes people say, I'd like to register a complaint. I'm not satisfied with a product or service, and I'd like to let you guys know about it and correct the situation. So this is their new standard operating procedure, particular company. This is actually some kind of document here for people who work in customer service. Now, the following update was made on May 1st, 2016, after several managers attended a seminar on customer relations. So we can tell that this is a very professional company. They take customer service very seriously, and they sent some managers to an actual seminar on this particular subject. A seminar is a kind of conference or a kind of meeting for training or to get some information. The seminar was put on by somebody outside of the company, and they sent some managers over there. Yes, please attend that seminar, take notes, and come back and tell us what you learned, and then we can use those ideas in our own customer service.
Yeah, that's a great way to train some of your high-level managers, is to send them to some sort of training or seminar where they hear about how other companies deal with problems and get some ideas to bring back to their own company. And the second paragraph, it says, when confronted with a customer complaint, please follow the standard operating procedure below. So right here we see that their SOP, this acronym, SOP, actually stands for Standard Operating Procedure. But as I mentioned, it can also stand for Standard Operating Practice. They're very similar. Procedure sounds a little bit more high level, perhaps. But not much. They're very close. If you're confronted with something, guys, it just means there's a problem that's right in front of you and you have to face it. You have to deal with it. You can't ignore it. So when you're confronted with a customer who's upset and complaining, then this particular company instructs their employees to follow the standard operating procedure below, and it looks like it has 5 steps to it.
Right. They are all part of the procedure here. So confront is a verb to face something. You could also say when faced with a customer complaint or when you have to deal with it. Here are the steps that you need to know about to handle this situation. So here's the first one. It says, ensure all customer complaints are recorded. So here the word is ensure, spelled with an E. If you spell it with an I, you're talking about insurance. You buy insurance from an insurance agent, for example, life insurance, health insurance, etc. But this is ensure with an E. The pronunciation is very close, and that just means that you make certain or make sure that something happens or that it is the case.
Yeah, and it's smart to record their complaints. First of all, your boss is listening to how you respond. And if you're patient, and if you're giving that customer the correct information, and if you're being helpful, that's one reason why they want you to record the conversation. The second is they want to be able to go back and say, hey, wait, you said this to us, or you used bad language, or, whatever. It's always smart to record conversations that are very important like these. You've got to fill out a complaint form. This complaint form is called CF-1. That's why we're not using a complaint form. You fill out complaint form, and then the name of the form follows that during your call. So while they're talking to the customer on the phone, they're simultaneously or at the same time, they're filling out the complaint form with the information that they need. And then they use this form to confirm all the details of the problem with the customer. So I'm guessing this form probably prompts or reminds the customer service person some of the questions they need to ask or the information they need to get from that upset customer.
Indeed, and this makes it sound like it's actually a printed form and they write by hand, but I can imagine that some of these forms are on the computer.
Yeah, nowadays.
And you enter the information using a keyboard, which makes a lot more sense. It's easier to store it and retrieve it and things like that. But you need to record all the details of the problem with the customer. I did want to go back to that word record here. I guess here it does mean to actually record the sound.
It does. Haven't you heard this this on some calls you've made?
Oh, I certainly have.
This call is being recorded.
Right. If they have that message there, it's okay.
They have to tell you.
Yeah, in some states, it's illegal to record phone conversations unless you tell them ahead of time. So it might depend on where this is happening. But again, they're actually sound recording this conversation, filling in the information on this form, and they can use this form to confirm all those details of the problem with the customer, what the problem was, what the actual product or service was, when the call was made, when the customer made the purchase, etc., the numbers, everything, all that information you can think of, and make sure that you have all the facts, okay? Indeed, don't make it ambiguous. Make sure everything is for certain. Get as much information as possible. You don't actually have to know the birth date of the customer or their social security number or something like that. That's going a little bit too far. But yes, you do need to, like I said, know the time, the reference number, the actual problem in detail.
If something here is kept on file, notice they're supposed to keep these forms, these complaint forms on file. If it's kept on file, it means it just is either kept on the computer itself or the server your company has, or maybe you actually print out that form and put it in a filing cabinet. But they keep those on file. They're going to keep these these phone conversations that they've recorded on file. And that's what they usually say when they warn you that they're taping the call. This phone call is being recorded for training purposes. They'll tell you in advance. Now, what's step number 2? You got to apologize. You got to apologize a lot because some of these customers are really angry. And even if you, as the employee, you don't think it's the company's fault, it doesn't matter. You have to apologize.
Yeah, you can't say stuff. Oh, the digital camera you ordered from our company doesn't work. Oh, you poor baby.
Or you broke it. I know you're just stupid and you don't know how to use it right.
Yeah, you got to be smarter than the camera. You don't just drop it on the floor and expect it to work. You're not very smart. Maybe you should buy something from someone else next time. Bye. No, that's being very rude. You have to apologize. Oh, we're so sorry your camera doesn't work. And I think also you need to sound like you're sorry.
Yeah, you need to sound like you're sorry. That's
because customers can actually pick up on whether you're just saying that or reading it from a script. They want to know that you're sincerely apologizing, that you're sorry from the bottom of your heart, and that you are going to start crying if they don't get that problem resolved. That you really sympathize with them. You're really sorry for them.
Yeah, I would not hire you to work in my customer complaint department.
I sound too sarcastic.
Yeah,
huh?
You don't sound sincere.
Okay.
But you have to apologize and make sure that the customer feels your pain. They feel like you understand their problem. You apologize. You say it's not their fault. You're apologizing for the inconvenience that you caused them. And you also really thank them for taking the time to report the problem or the issue. Don't try to blame someone for the problem. Well, yeah, but you just didn't use it right. So I think you broke it, or you weren't careful enough. You're not supposed to do that. The worst thing to do is to blame the customer. But you also don't want to say, yeah, our engineers are kind of dumb. They kind of put that together wrong. I agree with you. It's not a very good piece of equipment. So you don't want to blame anyone. If possible, you want to build a rapport with the customer. This word rapport is kind of strange. You'd probably think we should say rapport, but it's actually a French word. And if you build a rapport with someone or you have a good rapport with someone, it means you are building a good relationship where you feel like you can trust each other and you can talk pretty honestly about things.
Like friends, you're getting closer to each other. You're not actually going to go out on a date together or something like that, but like you're talking person to person and you're in harmony and you feel for each other and stuff like that. So indeed, have some rapport with the customer. Be calm, be patient, and helpful. And as you said, I would not be good for this because I think one time when somebody complained to me about something before, I very quickly started calling them names. names and told them to go to certain places and never come again. So
no, Tom.
I would not be good at that. Plus, I'm very sarcastic and stuff.
You are.
I just couldn't resist. Oh, you poor baby. It doesn't work. Oh, why don't you go home and cry to your mommy or something?
Or, I can see someone getting tired of listening to the complaints and going, quit whining. I don't want to hear you whining. Yeah.
Can you imagine what it's like all day to listen to you people complain endlessly about your products?
It would be hard.
It does take a very special person to do this. You need to be calm. You need to be patient. And you also need to be very helpful. And you got to do it with every person. You can't change it.
Number 3, discuss your solution or solutions. You might have several things that they could try with a customer. Whenever possible, the customer should be given multiple options for solving the problem. Yeah, they feel like you care more if you give them different choices. That's what an option is, a different choice. Multiple means more than one. So give them several choices, several options for solving the problem. They may not like your first solution that you offer. Maybe they want to hear some more options. You need to then agree on the best possible solution and confirm that solution with the customer. Make sure they know that this is the solution that you both have agreed upon, and make sure they're happy with it before you just go ahead and do it, because you want to make sure it will, in fact, be satisfactory to them.
Indeed. So that's point number 3. And number 4 is be prompt. Here, prompt just means you take action right away. You don't delay. Be prompt. Be on time. Act on the problem at once. Don't delay. And follow it up with an email detailing the complaint and the agreed solution. Yes, you need to send out an email to the customer right away. Follow it up. That means that's what you do afterwards. Send them an email to confirm that you received their call or their email and that you're going to deal with this problem as soon as you can. And when the issue is solved or when the problem is taken care of, call the customer to make sure everything is satisfactory. And satisfactory here just means they are satisfied, they are fulfilled, they no longer want to complain. They're as happy as they can be.
Now, number 5 is record the outcome. The outcome is just the way something turns out. What's the result? What is the result of the consequence? Here I would say you're going to record the result. What happened? If the complaint represents a larger issue within the company, you need to inform your manager. For example, maybe you're getting a lot of phone calls and perhaps you sell cameras, and there's one particular model of a camera that a lot of people are complaining about. Maybe the focus is bad in several of these cameras. If you see a pattern, then you need to let your company know. You're an important part of getting information back from clients and customers in customer service, and you need to inform your manager. That's really important.
Okay, so yes, it could involve the whole company as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to the end of our discussion here. We're going to come back in just a couple of seconds and have a discussion. But right now, we need to hear from our beloved Chinese teacher who never complains about anything.
No.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny. 今天我们要继续来看 TOEIC 的文章。好，我们这个主题呢是谈客诉。好，什么叫客诉啊？这中文的客诉，英文就是 customer complaint。那这边要提客诉怎么处理，所以它有一个标准作业程序。这个 SOP 我们常常听到 SOP， 所以什么是 SOP？ 它的英文其实就是代表Standard Operating Procedure， 换句话说，也就是标准作业程序。好，这个 term 了解之后，我们来看看，其实要面临客诉这个情况，应该要怎么去处理才最妥当？这边就整理出来了5个大要点。那在前面的对话内容里头，我们也注意到了 Rachel 跟 Samuel 他们的对话当中，其实 Rachel 她就是谨守这些原则的。好，首先来看，他提到，当你面临客诉的时候，有什么样的 SOP 呢？好，那面临这里有一个片语啊，就是用到 confront。本来我们说 confront， 它是一个动词，它就代表面对。可是注意到这个结构里面，它写 when confronted with a customer complaint。好，这边的句型其实是一个分词构句，因为 when 后面这个 confronted 是被动的过去分词，换句话说，它的主词不见了，然后呢 be 动词也不见了，原来应该是 when you are confronted with a customer complaint。 当你面对这样的问题， be confronted with 这个片语意思等于主动的 confront。 好，那这边用被动的 be confronted with 省略了主词，省略 be 动词，成了一个分词构句。再来，我们提到了 SOP， 那这边下面这5点就是这个 SOP。 首先他说一定要记录。好，那在电话里面当然就表示你呢是客服人员，你就应该要填一个表格，这个表格填表格的动词就是 fill out the form。 好，那这个CF1 注意到它的代号，其实这个 C 就是 complaint， F 当然就是 form。 好，这个客诉投诉的表格要填，然后呢里面要包括了所有的细节。再来他就说你要记得一定要确定你留下了顾客的编号、联络资料，还有就是所有你采取的动作也要记录下来。好，我们看到这个 record all actions taken。 好，为什么是 taken？ 这个 taken 是过去分词咯，所以它用来修饰的是前面的 actions。 我们知道也就是指 actions that are taken， 你所采取的、被采取的这些行动做了什么事也要详实记录，因为呢这可以当作以后存档然后训练用。再来第2点，他说 apologize。 好，一定要道歉，尽管这不是你的错，你一定要站在客人这边来想，然后呢还要感谢他们呢愿意花时间来告诉你他们的问题。好，他要你记得 do not try to blame someone for the problem。 好， blame somebody for something 这跟动词 blame 的用法很有关系。好，我们知道如果你用动词的话，后面 for 当然就是指那个为了什么的问题等等，为了什么缘故然后去怪人。那如果你把 blame 当名词来用，你会说 put blame on somebody。 好，那 on 就是加人咯，是把罪怪在谁的身上。好，接下来呢他说到如果有可能的话 build a rapport with the customer。 好， rapport 这个字其实指的就是一种和谐的关系，也就是 a sympathetic relationship 或是一种 understanding。 好，那我们再来往下看，下面呢就提到第3点。第3点是你可以跟客人讨论一下解决的办法。那如果有可能的话，就是给他一些选择，也许可以做法 A， 做法 B， 甚至于做法 C， 然后呢尽可能就是两方取得一致性的意见。好，所以他这边 agree on the best possible solution。 我们知道 agree 当然这是同意，当然你后面会有加不同的介系词，有时候你用 on 表示是就某一件事情而言你们取得了一致性。好，再来下面呢还有第4点。第4点是 be prompt。 prompt 其实就是表示快速及时，你要及时的采取行动。而且他还说 follow it up with an email detailing the complaints and the agreed solution。 好，这个我们知道 follow up 就是跟着的，后面追踪的，所以他告诉你的意思是后续要怎么做，后续呢还要寄个 email， 然后里面的内容要detailing the complaint。 我们知道 detail 我们平常都把它当名词来用，就表示细节。好，但是当动词以在这里来说，他提到这封信件内容是应该怎么样，应该要说明清楚细节，所以把 detail 当动词就是表示 give details。 好，那这一点也就是说，你一定要确保从头到尾，这是一个完美的结局。当然，最后还有第5点，就是 record the outcome， 把结果记录下来。那假如这个投诉其实是一个比较严重的问题，那还要向经理报告。OK， 这就是我们今天讲解的内容，我们下次见。
Okay, guys, we're back. We have a couple of discussion questions to finish up this particular unit. Tom, let me ask you the first one. Have you ever had to deal with a difficult customer? What happened?
Yeah, I mentioned some experiences I had in the past before.
Is this when you worked at the gas station?
Yeah, when I worked at the gas station, I didn't really care if the customers were satisfied or not. So if they had something to complain about, I was like, well, big deal, okay? You don't like that? Tough luck, okay? Try better luck next time.
Hey,
you can go someplace else for all I care.
Well, were you fired from this job due to your poor attitude?
Well, no, actually, to tell you the truth, it was my father's gas station. So I guess I kind of thought that
he can't fire
he
you.
wouldn't dare fire me. I also played quite a lot of pranks when I was there. I'd put mouse traps inside of the cigarette cartons so Applegate would stick his hand in there. And, we had all sorts of fun there. But later on, though, I did have, I guess you could say, a real job as a clerk at a motel. And one time a customer, or I guess a guest was dissatisfied that he did not receive his wake-up call. And so I couldn't say, you didn't get your wake-up call. You missed your meeting. That's too
Poor
bad.
baby.
No, I couldn't do that, of course. I had to apologize and stuff like that. But it still wasn't good enough. He was still angry, and he stormed out of the motel. And that was that. So sometimes you just can't satisfy people no matter what you say. Okay, how about you? Did you ever have to deal with a difficult customer? What happened?
You know, the only job that I've really worked where I had to, offer good customer service was when I had a job. I was 16. I was in high school. It was my first job. I worked at a big department store that sold clothes. And, it was like a Sogo kind of department store. It was really big. I really didn't have too many difficult customers. Sometimes they would return a dress or a pair of pants and say, it shrank when I washed it in the washing machine. But typically, I had no power to help them. So I would call my manager, and my manager would handle their complaints.
Yeah, that's what happens when you put a dress in the dryer. It shrinks. It's not really the company's fault.
That's right. But I would like to kind of answer the second question here. The second question is, if you made a complaint, what response would satisfy you and what would not satisfy you? We're talking about this particular SOP in our lesson here. I think the thing that I get very frustrated about when I call customer service is when they just apologize, but they don't fix the problem.
Just say sorry and that's it.
I honestly don't care if they're sorry. I want them to fix the problem. So when they just say, we're sorry for your inconvenience, or we're sorry for the inconvenience we caused, I don't care. I want them to fix the problem. So for me, I look for people in customer service who offer solutions, especially when they'll actually offer to refund my money or give me a coupon for a discount on my next purchase. I love people like that.
So I guess you got to do both, because I think some people really want that apology. You know?
I don't care.
Of course they want the problem resolved, but they also want an apology. You better say you're sorry, or I'm going to tell your mom on you, you bad boy, naughty boy.
Well, I know it's not their fault, so I never expect the customer service people to say I'm sorry.
Some people don't understand that. So yes, you still need to apologize, and you do need to rectify or take care of the problem
resolve,
here.
Resolve.
Exactly. So I guess
something.
So I guess what would not satisfy you would be if they don't actually offer any options to actually fix the problem. I agree. I just want the thing fixed, and I want to get on with my life. And to heck with the apology. But in any case, that brings us to the end of our lesson. Thank you so much for joining us, and make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.